exactly is the secret to building great products? At Venturis Inc., we believe it is a combination of product thinking and a mindset encompassing focus, adaptability, mojo, and engagement that we call the Venturis mindset. Join us on Venturis Stories as we demystify this through conversations with industry leaders. This is the Venturis Stories with your hosts Gaurav and Arjun. Hello, everyone. So, welcome back to the Venturis Stories. This is a very special episode. As most of our listeners know, Arjun and I love to talk about sports, applying lessons from the sports world to business, building great products, innovation. And for the cricket fans and cricket followers, you would know that the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup just concluded. And our favorite team, Team India, ended up being the champions. So that's awesome. And that gives us the perfect opportunity to talk about our favorite topic, sports, and applying lessons from sports to the business world. And that's not all. Actually, for this episode, I've been recently exchanging some back and forth with Palash, who's the product leader at Dream11. So we are actually extremely delighted to be joined by Palash Somani, who's a product leader at Dream11 for this conversation. For those who don't know, Dream11 is one of the leading sponsors for Team India. It's great. And we actually decided that this special occasion deserved something special. So we are going to make this a video episode. And we all decided we are going to show up here in our Team India colors. However, as you can see, Arjun's not in the Team India colors. He prefers white. That I'm just kidding. He did go through an effort to procure a Team India jersey yesterday. However, we could not get it done in time. So at least Palash and I are in Team India jerseys. And looking forward to this conversation. It is going to be a conversation straight from the heart. So let's dive into it. So Palash, welcome to Venturis Stories. It's great to have you here. We'll talk about building great products, cricket, mindset, and all of those things through this show. But let's go ahead, get started first with a brief introduction about you and your journey so far.
Sure. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Arjun, for this opportunity. Really excited to be here and talking about mindset and the Indian team's framework to product. But a bit about myself, guys. Palash Somani here. I'm the director of product at Dream11. And like Gaurav said, we are the sponsors, but we are also the leading sports fantasy platform in India. At Dream11, I look at the core gameplay experience. So, how you play on the app, what is the experience during a live match and post match. My journey to product management wasn't a traditional one. I'm an engineer from IIT Madras, started my career in finance at JP Morgan, and then moved to JioSaavn looking at their subscription division. Those who don't know JioSaavn, it's the music streaming app in India. So quite a few turns and twists before ending up in product management, and recently started writing content on LinkedIn with a focus on product, the exciting potential of generative AI, and more importantly, a growth and hustle mindset to lasting success. So that's a bit about myself, and we'll chat more.
Palash, I must say, your career journey just stopped me for a moment. You're an engineer who went into finance, who went into music, and then is into fantasy sports. Like, imagine that from a mindset perspective, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Gaurav and I talk about product as of course, we're all product leaders, and we talk about the importance of mindset. And I'm going to try to bring in the Indian cricket team because both of you are in blue and I'm not. So we'll talk about the Indian cricket team and we'll say what they do really well and what we as product leaders need to think about how to translate those two, vectors. And it's a very simple question, to be honest. I see your career journey, Palash, your career journey, and I see the Indian cricket team, and I see so many changes that happen real time. And I call this a product versus mindset. And both of them are, as a product leader or as a team, we need to kind of think about. We and Venturis have a mindset matrix that Gaurav and I developed. We can talk about a bit about that. But just to bring some color, because it's the ICC and there was an India-Pakistan game which was sold out. I'm told the seats were more expensive than watching the NFL in the US, and I find that incredible. And then there was, of course, the journey that the Indian cricket team made as they went through the matches. But give us a perspective, both from your personal side as well as what you saw the Indian cricket team from a mindset perspective, and how we can relate that as a growth mindset.
Absolutely, Arjun. I mean, see, I'm a true believer that while talent is a very valuable asset, consistent hard work, self belief, and this growth mindset are often the deciding factors. And you could
Mhm.
see that in many of the matches India played also. The India Pakistan match that you mentioned, we were under 120 runs, but we defended
Mhm.
that. It's the
Yes.
belief, it's the focus on our own preparation that we were able to do it. Both teams were talented.
Sure.
And I think my own journey has been guided by one of the famous quotes from Magic Johnson, and I think you guys have also referred to it
Mhm.
in your blog. Talent is never enough. The best players are the hardest workers, and I
Mhm.
wholeheartedly agree to that. My
Mhm.
own journey, like you said, is a proof of it. I think the one constant which I will say every product manager should take away from this is that the commitment to learning and hustling.
Mhm.
uh, I would just end by saying that talent in many areas, and I do agree to a certain extent in product as well, is an acquirable asset if you have the right mindset.
Mhm. Yep, that's so well
Spot on.
said. Yep.
Yeah.
And love that Magic Johnson quote. And your journey, like Arjun said, going from IIT Chennai, being an engineer, and then getting into finance. Arjun was in finance as well. So you were actually kind of a mix of, I started as an engineer, Arjun started as a finance person, and now you ended up in product. We love working with each other because we come from engineering and finance, and we would love product. So you clearly demonstrate how all this comes together. Now, one thing, continuing on this mindset theme. So one thing that we like to talk about in terms of building products, it's actually, especially early stage of the product cycle, it's all about a combination of strategy and then comes execution. And we love to talk about this thing called an organizational narrative. So at the early stage of the product, a narrative or a vision is so much more important that than just pure data and analytics. And if you look at it from that perspective, going back to the final game of India versus South Africa, there is a image that floating around in terms of win probability, etc. So with 30 runs needed in 30 balls, India's win probability at that point was in low single digits. And I mean, yet the team turned it around. That was based on a shared belief, mindset that it was truly in action. The bowlers really turned it around from that point. And we believe that same thing actually in an entrepreneurial journey. The odds of success are actually fairly small in any entrepreneurial journey. And what really sets an entrepreneur who wins apart is the mindset, the belief. That to us is the secret of building great products and innovation. Palash, would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, rightly said. I mean, all winning products that you see, there's this thin balance between strategy, vision, and data. And you're right. In early stages, you cannot rely solely on data. I mean, spreadsheets can take you so far. Like you have to tell
Mhm.
the story yourself. And that strategy and data, while those are the foundation, the touch of irrationality in your vision, I think
Mhm.
that the growth mindset that I have the passionate belief in my product's potential. It's not blind faith, rather,
Mhm.
it's a deep conviction that we are solving the right problems and we can disrupt this market. And I'll take an example from Dream 11 side over here. Even such long periods in our cycles, we have been 12 years, 13 years, we have been around. This IPL, we have reached 200 million users. We have had
Wow.
15 million concurrency at a single event.
Wow.
Now, all of this could not have been achieved on spreadsheet. If somebody would have
Yep.
told me that 15
Mhm.
million people would be using the app at the same time, I mean, we would have lost it.
Yeah.
But it was a belief that we can solve this engineering problem also, which has never been solved before.
Mhm.
And we can propel from here also and actually beat 15 million. And even if 20 million comes, we can handle it.
Mhm.
I think that mindset comes from that irrationality that I'm talking about and the unwavering belief that user experience matters more regardless of where you are in the journey. And I would just end this with again a quote that Rohit Sharma, the Indian team captain, said to me during an interview. I had a chance before the World Cup to meet him. He said preparation is key, not just in sports, but in anything in life. And if you have done the preparation, you will build the confidence to execute well. And it's plain and simple that.
So I think the words that I'm going to take away from that is irrationality, belief, and prior to recording this, Palash, you talked about user experience, and and these are things which I think Gaurav and I love these kind of statements, and I'll kind of segue this a little bit, and then we'll come back to sport and as well as the. And I want to touch upon user experience, by the way. I won't let you go before on this without giving us an insight into that. So I took your 15 million concurrent sessions. I mean, that's not an easy task. That is a task which requires engineering, discipline, execution, data structure, availability. I mean, we can go through the list of things that are required. So it's not, I mean, even if you've been around for 16 years, that's just, I mean, it requires huge amount of effort and initiative. We have this concept called FAME, which is focus, adaptability, mojo, and engagement. And some of these kind of tie into that concept that you're talking about. And I'll try to build from, again, sport and as well as a product kind of, you talked about Rohit Sharma, and, there's a North Star that people create, that belief that you call. You use the word belief, we use the word North Star. It's the same thing in my mind. But you set something, you set a championship goal. You say, I wish to win, or I will win an ICC championship, which we haven't done for a very long time. We won't talk about that. And we lost the World Cup. We won't talk about that either. But at the same time, that's the whole principle. That how do you set that North Star? Where does it come? And when the game changes, which it always does, 50 overs or 20 overs, pick a number that you like to get behind. The game changes on a sequential basis. Gaurav talked about 30 balls and 30 runs, and that by that time you're thinking the game is over, but yet somebody comes in and says that, hey, by the way, it's not over. We'll do this and we can do this. And we'll talk about some separate episodes. But just, your thoughts around this focus, adaptability, how we can get there, how we get the mindset to move forward, this execution that you talked about, 15 million users at the same time. How do you get to that level of rigor and that preparation that you talked about?
Yeah, so I think it is driven from the top. Like you said, it's the belief that the team had at the 30 ball mark as well that we can do it, and that's why we did it. It's the same thing in product management also, and especially at Dream11. I mean, we constantly question each other on the why of why we are doing it, right? There is no focus on what to build. The focus is completely on why to build it. And the good thing at Dream11 is, you will keep getting this question every single day, every second meeting. So even 2 weeks later, when you think you've answered all the why, somebody will come up with a new why you are doing this. And then you have to think more, So it takes you to the crux of the problem that you're solving, and you truly understand what does the user want. Because sometimes it's not about, okay, if the user has asked for A, give him A. You need to really understand the underlying need and solve for that.
Yeah.
And I'll again quote Henry Ford over here. I think he said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
Faster horses.
Yep.
Right? So it's not always about what they need, what they truly desire. It's about how you truly innovate from there. And like you said, by having a clear North Star metric, you can guide your product development to address the underlying user needs by groundbreaking solutions. And that's what the 15 million concurrency hit was. It was a collective team effort of Dream11, engineering, tech, product, design, to focus on delivering that number and higher with seamless uptime.
Yep. Love that. And I've actually used that quote that you said as well in the past. And that's a great example of why do you need to really go behind the user's underlying need, not just what the user is telling you. Arjun and I have run product management for a Cisco business unit. And when we just talk to the customers, they will give us 100, 200, thousands of features, and you keep building these features. However, really, I'm trying to understand, okay, why do you want all of this? because if we just built all those features, we are never going to be able to build anything. So that's actually great. Though, by the way, I later realized that quote is not Henry Ford did not say exactly those words. He said something else. So it's slightly misinterpreted, but it's a great quote, and I think it shows the underlying way he went about the Ford transformation. It emphasizes that very well. So now, moving along the venturis mindset, and Arjun touched upon focus, adaptability, mojo, and engagement. Moving to adaptability and coming back to our favorite topic, Team India a bit. So Team India demonstrated, in my opinion, a lot of adaptability through this tournament as well as over the last 2-3 years that they've been building up to. In this tournament specifically, they had to play in New York, very different conditions in that environment, and then they had to play in Caribbean, very different conditions. So starting from the original team selection of picking the 15 and then the 11 for each, like horses for courses, it showed adaptability to the particular conditions, and they emerged as the only undefeated side ever to have won a ICC tournament. So it's great that clearly worked. We believe this is what actually is required even to build great products. Things actually change. You have a North Star, that's great. After that, things change many times, and you have to adapt, iterate. So I would love to hear any anecdotes, your thoughts on that, Palash.
I think you're absolutely right. Our team's adaptability for World Cup also, playing in any condition, people can bat ball at different positions, different situations. And I think I would drive adaptability to more towards a product manager wearing many hats, right? As a product manager, you need to be a strategist sometimes. Sometimes you need to be a data analyst, user advocate, sometimes even a cheerleader. I mean, uh, I would take my example. I remember this. This was last IPL in Dream 11 where we were promoting a feature, a new feature. We didn't have any budget for that. I know at Dream 11 in certain places we didn't have budget to do that. So, I was out distributing flyers at Wankhede, for people to introduce that feature and talk about it and understand about it. That okay, why are you not using it? Because in India during IPL time, almost every second individual is using Dream 11 to build their team. So it was a very good space to stand there outside Wankhede and doing this. And I've never done this before, guys. Like being new in product management, new to doing this flyer things outside. So that's what basically brings me to is that as the best product and the best product managers are constantly evolving with user needs, market trends, and your competition strategy. And I think you touched upon it right that a adaptable mindset can help you navigate any challenges, overcome roadblocks, and ultimately deliver a winning product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll come back to this later, but this is something that I've never seen a catch like that Surya Kumar Yadav. Okay, I've seen it in replays. I've seen it in replays, but never seen it live. And the reason I bring this up is because that doesn't happen by accident. You talked about practice and preparation a few minutes back. When you see the person who's standing at, I think, at long on or long off, and he was standing there, he anticipates where the ball is going, he reaches out, he goes outside of the ropes, and then he pushes the ball inside and comes inside. Now, if you think about it in a pressure situation, which has 12 balls left to go, I forget how many balls were left to go, that doesn't happen because I woke up this morning and that was my plan. No, that happens because of a series of preparatory moves, whether it's iterative or just damn practice that you have to get into it and get into that mindset. So, Palash, you're all about stories and you're giving all these fantastic quotes, and give us, how this practice has made you or the Dream 11 perfect, or it's getting to that, because that catch, it happened in a flash, right? People think, oh, by the way, it just happened. Oh my God, that was fantastic. But it didn't happen in a flash. How does that come through for you? And how does that come through for your company?
Absolutely. So I'll again take first Surya's example and then come to Dream 11. I was seeing his interview with the PM Modi when he was meeting all the team, and PM Modi asked the same thing, that how did you make it happen? And they said this is not a one-stop thing that happened over there. Surya has practiced it 50 times before outside the match. And remember the dressing room medals. They
Yep.
really strive for that fielding medal that comes through, and people also look to watch that YouTube footage, right? So I think it's all about the hunger in players to work towards a collective goal, and that's what we have also done in Dream 11. That the final outcome may or may not go your way, which is
Mhm.
okay. But as a team, have you done everything to sort of say that yes, you can't do better than this, right?
Mhm.
If you as a team, and I tell this to my team every single time, that if you have this belief and we have this belief that we have done everything to deliver X,
Mhm.
then nobody can come and tell me that, oh, you could have done X plus Y,
Sure.
because I know we can't. This team is dedication to that basically, and I drive it to basically 7 different pillars, which I keep telling to my team, and this is something I've also learned from different books. So again, I will take references from different places, but the 7 secrets of building this dream team for me was first making sure everybody is driven towards a shared purpose, like
Uh-huh.
the Indian team of
Mhm.
winning the World Cup. Second was having the trust that you can openly communicate with anybody about anything. And if they feel I am going wrong somewhere, they can come and tell me. Again, driving from something MS used to do, that he used to keep his door open for youngsters to walk in. Being reliable consistently, that if anybody is in a false situation, they can depend on me or I can depend on them.
Mhm.
Like we say in product management, all wins are of the team, and all issues are of the product manager to sort of deal with. Of course,
I've heard that one before. Yes,
yeah,
Gaurav and I have heard that one before.
that's the third. The fourth is clarity of role. Again, something borrowed from Chennai Super Kings. I'm a big fan of MS Dhoni, so I take a lot of inspiration from there. Clarity of role. Any player from Chennai Super Kings you speak to, one thing they say is we are very clear about what we have to do. Uh, then fifth is having a very effective conflict management system where you can have healthy debates. Yes, there will be times where you as a leader will have to say, okay, even regardless of the debate, this is the direction we go. That is the irrationality factor that as a leader you need to bring in. But having that space where people can contribute and have healthy debates. uh, Sixth, celebrating smaller wins. I think big wins comes very little or very few times in product management, but the smaller wins is what keeps the team going. And I think this dressing room medal story is the same thing. We lost the Test Championship, we lost the 50 over World Cup, but the drive in the team, the effort, that did not drop. And I
Mhm.
think that's what is something is important to celebrate the small things. And finally, the belief in everybody, and at that time in Surya as well, that whatever they are doing is creating an impact for the team. I think that what delivers the mojo and engagement in my eyes.
Absolutely.
This is awesome. You should probably write a book on this, Palash. I've noted these 7. I'm hopefully you posted about all this on LinkedIn. These are actually great. Most product
I will
managers.
reshare on LinkedIn for you.
Yes, these are awesome. Most all product managers should hear this and learn from it. I think this encapsulates very well what Arjun and I also are looking to drive. And you kind of summed up the mojo and engagement part of our philosophy to round up the focus, adaptability, mojo, and engagement. It's great. And the dressing room medals, I actually watch those very diligently because that to me is really the almost the highlight at the end, and I can see the excitement in the players at winning those versus they don't. They are not as excited about winning the man of the match or anything. They're more excited about winning the field of the match. That's just amazing. An example of celebrating small wins together as a team. So we talked about mindset, talked about building great products. The one thing that I noticed, you go by this moniker product AI guy, and we love it actually. It has with the Gen AI wave and products. So we both also are Gen AI enthusiasts, and we believe generative AI can be a big productivity boost, especially for a lot of things that the product managers have to do. And like you said, there a lot of time the product manager is carrying the bag for many things. So, would love to hear your views. Being the product AI guy, how do you see the future of AI and what role it will play in the product journey?
Yeah, I am very bullish on it. I think I'm a very pro Gen AI person. I think I've written about it as well that I think in future product management is going towards one of the two side where you are either an AI product manager where you are building new AI solutions through LLMs and etc. Or you are at least AI driven product manager where you know how to use the available AI tools to drive efficiency in your work, in your product, and sort of keep your time for the big picture thinking. Really embrace AI as a tool, not a replacement of you, but at the same time keep focusing on that user experience is what matters. AI is just means to an end. It is not what is going to be the driver of your product. It will be the enabler of your product. But yes, I definitely see these two streams where product management will eventually evolve into, and everybody in my eyes at least should be an AI driven product manager, if not an AI product manager.
So again, Palash, you've said so many things in this meeting today that I'm going to write these notes down and and replay them back for me. And this last one is particularly true. I think both of us, Gaurav and I, believe in this entire. There's a data stream and there's a context stream, and I think you referred to it many times. The mission, the goal, the belief, the irrationality. There's a context associated with it, and there's a data which you're trying to pull the AI product manager together. I think this is brilliant. I think we can patent this, Gaurav. I mean, this is something which.
Yeah, maybe that is another framework that we have to co-create with Palash.
Yeah, the future is a product AI guy, and here we are. Here is one person who is exactly demonstrating that.
Yeah.
I think this is brilliant. So, Palash, on behalf of Gaurav and myself, this is a fantastic discussion, and love all the snippets, the viewpoint, and I would have said a lot of other quotes as well, but your quotes are fantastic, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you, Arjun, for having me on this platform and giving me this opportunity. Loved talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this was really great. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed listening to this conversation as much as we enjoyed recording this. We covered product thinking, especially user centricity, and the venturis mindset, against the backdrop of Team India's World Cup winning journey and Dream 11's journey to becoming the leading sports fantasy platform in India. Palash shared his 7-point framework for building great product teams. For more such insights, do follow him on LinkedIn. And if you enjoyed this episode, follow us for more such conversations and share it further with product communities and sports enthusiasts.